One Piece has enjoyed quite a lot of success over the years, and it is safe to say that fans of the series have been enjoying some of the most incredible chapters lately. The Egghead Island arc has proven to be a massive success, and kickstarted the final saga in an incredible fashion. It is clear for the fans to see that the Egghead Island arc of One Piece has been nothing short of spectacular, and right now, the series appears to be in the climax of the arc. Clearly, this arc will not last for too long now, and one of the most important chapters, which fans will get to read later this week, will end up being decisive not just in regards to this arc, but also the entire future of One Piece as a whole. One Piece Chapter 1109 is just around the corner, and this chapter is set to redefine the series as fans know it. Why One Piece Chapter 1109 is special. One Piece Chapter 110 is going to be incredibly special in more ways than one. For starters, this is a chapter that will give fans an incredible fight between Luffy and the duo of Kizaru and Saturn. However, while that is incredibly exciting, it is not the main reason as to why fans are excited about this chapter. The main reason why this One Piece chapter is going to be absolutely groundbreaking is simply because fans will get to see major revelations pertaining to the Void Century here. This is something that fans of the series have been waiting for many years now, and finally, it will most likely be revealed in the upcoming chapter of the story. One of the cornerstones of the entire story of One Piece is the hidden secret of the Void Century. These secrets have been hidden by Oda for many years now, and even after over 2 decades of incredible storytelling, fans do not know much about it. The closest fans came to finding out about the secrets of the Void Century was during the Enies Lobby arc, where the flashback of O'Hara was shown to the fans. However, before the scholars of O'Hara could reveal the truth about the world, they were killed. Professor Clover was shot right through the head, and, as a result, no major information pertaining to the Void Century was made public. O'Hara itself was erased from the map entirely, and with that, the entire secret was once again safe for the world government. One Piece Chapter 1109 is looking to change that in many ways. For starters, in this chapter, fans will finally find out about the truth through Dr. Vegapunk. Towards the end of the last chapter, Dr. Vegapunk looked at death's door, however. Before he could actually die, he decided to make his announcement to the entire world. Dr. Vegapunk revealed technology that could transmit his message all over the world, and in this message, he made it quite clear that he would reveal the truth of the entire world, even if it would be unbelievable to those who hear it. Major Void Century revelation. Of course, it has already been established that Vegapunk will reveal some of the major truths of the One Piece world in One Piece Chapter 1109. However, what exactly he will reveal is still up to debate. Given that this particular arc of One Piece has paralleled O'Hara so closely, it is highly likely that Vegapunk will reveal bits of information that were touched upon back then. This also makes sense based on the fact that Vegapunk knows what O'Hara knew, given that he went to meet Saul on the island of Elbaf. It was made clear in the early parts of the arc that everything that O'Hara had studied is safe inside his brain. This clearly implies that he knows what they knew, and that he also knows the name of the ancient kingdom from long ago. Furthermore, Vegapunk himself was studying poneglyphs on Egghead Island, and that became one of the reasons why the place is currently under attack. As such, Dr. Vegapunk will most likely reveal bits of information from O'Hara to the world. This includes the name of the ancient kingdom, and of course, some other major revelations pertaining to the scholars from long ago. 20 years ago, this information never made it to even a single soul. Now, however, this information will be spread all over the world of One Piece, and every single person will know of it. There are other secrets pertaining to the world government that can be made public in One Piece Chapter 1109. These can be secrets related to the king of the world, Imu. Fans do not know much about this particular individual at this point in time. However, their identity has already been made clear to the Revolutionary Army, and now their secret is out in the open as well. Imu's identity will most likely be revealed very soon in One Piece, be it in One Piece Chapter 1109 or later. There is a decent chance for their name to be made public in the upcoming chapter of the story. The final segment of One Piece begins with One Piece Chapter 1109. The final segment of the Egghead Island arc has now begun. Fans are incredibly excited to see this incredible story arc wrap up, and with that, the Elbaf arc will finally begin. At the same time, the world of One One Piece will most certainly be thrown into a state of chaos. And there, fans will most definitely see some of the most incredible developments, especially after the truth of the world is made public. It will be interesting to see how the people of the world react to this information, and what steps the major rulers of the world will take after this. Clearly, One Piece Chapter 1109 is going to be groundbreaking, as the series will never be the same after. This chapter might just be on the same level as the biggest ones in the entire story. In fact, if One Piece Chapter 1109 actually does go on to reveal the name of the ancient kingdom, and some bits of information pertaining to this group of people that lived long ago, then it will clearly be a chapter like no other in the entire series. This chapter has the potential to be the very best in the entire story, and for that reason, along with many others, it can actually go on to break the internet. For now, fans simply have to sit back and wait for this incredible chapter to drop. However, the wait is certainly going to be worth it, given the importance of this chapter and the amazing reveal that it can make. And in other news, One Piece. Will Luffy be defeated on Egghead? Monkey D. Luffy is the protagonist of One Piece and, as fans know already, the man who aims to be the Pirate King. Luffy has already made great progress on the journey to becoming the Pirate King, having recently become a Yonko of the sea as well. Currently, Luffy is among the strongest characters in the entire world, having acquired a bounty of 3 billion berries after defeating Kaido as well. Luffy is on Egghead at the moment, and here, things look quite complicated for him. For starters, Luffy is fighting against a giant fleet of marines, led by Admiral Kizaru. To make things worse, one of the 5 elders, Saint Saturn, is present on the island as well. This war is going to be quite difficult for Luffy to navigate, and it is entirely possible that he might end up losing here. Luffy versus Saturn and Kizaru on Egghead. Luffy is currently engaging in a high-level battle on Egghead. Fans have already seen him fight against the likes of Kizaru once. Even before that, Luffy fought against Rob Lucci and some Seraphims as well, which weakened him considerably in terms of stamina. Of course, right now, Luffy is a full power, and, as was seen in the previous chapter of the story, he is raring to go. Luffy has already engaged in combat with both Kizaru and Saint Saturn as well. Having blown away Kizaru, Luffy then launched a powerful Dawn Gatling on Saint Saturn, sending him flying. However, the battle here isn't over just yet. Luffy will most definitely have to fight against Saturn once again, and to make things worse, he could actually have to fight both Saint Saturn and Kizaru at the same time. This appears to be the case now, given that Sanji will most likely prioritize saving Vegapunk above all. As such, Luffy will have to open up the pathway for Sanji to escape, and that would require him to fight against both Saturn and Kizaru at the same time. Luffy is certainly very powerful, and an individual capable of taking down an admiral with relative ease. However, when one throws in Saturn into the equation, this task becomes a lot more difficult. Luffy cannot take down both of them at the same time, and that is where doubts start coming in. Luffy might be able to give them a beating off a lifetime. However, for him to defeat both of them by himself is really difficult. At the same time, fans also need to consider other aspects of the story here. The Egghead incident is known to be a huge event that is going to shake the entire world of One Piece. As such, if Luffy gets defeated here while saving his entire crew, it would make sense why this event would be spread all over the world. This is something very interesting that fans need to keep in mind, and it would certainly set up a very interesting turn of events in the story. The high energy consumption of Gear 5. When one thinks of Luffy losing this battle, it almost appears to be an impossible thought, and that is simply down to the fact that Luffy is almost invincible in his Gear 5 state. He has already defeated Kizaru once and sent Saturn flying. In fact, as fans know already, Luffy has even defeated Kaido, the strongest part of this time, and if he has managed that, defeating everyone else should not be that hard for him. However, Gear 5 isn't unlimited in terms of energy. Gear 5 certainly has a power source, and it runs out. Luffy's stamina and haki are both drained tremendously fast when he is in Gear 5, which means that he cannot fight to his heart's content. This is especially true because he is fighting two powerful individuals at the same time. This means Luffy will expend more energy this time around in this battle, and, as a result, he will eventually run out. Once that happens, Luffy could most likely be defeated, that is, unless he gets some sort of help from the likes of Sanji or perhaps the Giants or any other member of the Straw Hat Pirates. The high energy consumption of Gear 5 all but guarantees that Luffy cannot sustain a high level of performance against both Saturn and Kizaru at the same time. Defeating both of them individually is something that he can manage easily, however, taking them down together is a very difficult task for him indeed. That said, Luffy will most likely hold his own, and it is even possible that he might be able to defeat them. However, the chances of that happening are low. Fans should be open to the possibility of Luffy being defeated and then being captured, which would then set up a very interesting event in the future of the story that has already been hinted at by Oda. Luffy's Vivre card. For fans who do not remember, Luffy had his Vivre card made by Sabo and distributed among the Straw Hat Grand Fleet towards the end of the Dressrosa arc. This is also the very same arc in which the Straw Hat Grand Fleet was finally created. As soon as the Grand Fleet was created, Oda established the fact that this fleet would come into play very soon. The Straw Hat Grand Fleet, as fans know, will play a major role in One Piece in a groundbreaking event that will shake the entire world. These are words that Oda has mentioned himself in the story, and so far, they have not fulfilled this role. Putting 2 and 2 together, fans should be able to tell quite easily that whatever role they play in the future of the story has to be connected to Luffy's Vivre card, given that all of them have a piece of it. Similar to how Luffy, he had a piece of Ace's Vivre card before the time skip of the story. If Luffy gets defeated and captured here, the Straw Hat Pirates will then gather all their forces to launch a powerful attack on the world government, which would then be a massive event for the future of the story. Perhaps that is the direction that Oda wants to take here, and, if so, it is certainly going to be incredibly exciting for the future of the story. If Luffy is defeated on Egghead, especially given how the current events have been set up already, then the future of One Piece is going to be very interesting. Of course, it is entirely possible that this predicament doesn't come at all. In this case, Luffy would get back up in the form of Sanji, or, against all odds, he would manage to take down both Kizaru and Saturn at the same time. The chances of that happening are very low, however. One can never truly count Luffy out. That's a wrap for this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more amazing videos very soon.